Hey guys, Guggen Barbecue back, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of an experiment. I want to try using Chick-fil-A sauce as a binder for brisket. So let's find out today how this is going to turn out. Let's get started. Alright, so we've got a choice grade brisket here. I got this from Kroger. Let's flip it over and take a look at the label. You can see that I paid $2.99 a pound, so this was a special that they were running. Let's get this packaging open. Whoop. So let's get to trimming. So this is about a 15-pound brisket, and it does have, a decent amount of fat on it. Decent sized fat cap, looks pretty good. So we're just going to trim off some of the nasty bits here and trim off some of this fat cap and then shape it up a little bit. So what you're really here for is the binder. So there's so many different binders that people use. You can use olive oil, yellow mustard, Worcestershire sauce, hot sauce. You name it, somebody's probably tried it. Well, today I want to try Chick-fil-A sauce. If you guys haven't tried Chick-fil-A sauce, it's kind of like a mix between barbecue sauce and honey mustard. So you may think I'm crazy for trying this, but if you look at the ingredients, it's got mayo in it, it's got oil, it's got yellow mustard. It does have a little bit of barbecue sauce, so I think it's going to be perfect. So why not give it a shot and try it? We're going to open this puppy up, and we're going to lather up this brisket in some Chick-fil-A sauce. Oh yeah. And I love this sauce. I eat it with everything. Ooh, whoopsie. And I'm just going to smear it around. We want to make it kind of an even coat, a very thin coat. So I'm just going to kind of push it around and make sure we got it on there nicely. We're going to make sure we go around and get all those sides. And really the purpose of a binder is to help the rub adhere a little bit better. And sometimes it can offer a little bit of an additional flavor depending on what you use. Now I suspect in this experiment that we're not really going to be able to tell that we use this, other than if the brisket looks really burnt because of some of the sugar that's in here gets caramelized when we're cooking. But that's why we're doing an experiment, and that's why we're going to give this a shot. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Go ahead and get the other side. And I've got a lot left over my gloves, so we'll just smear that all around there as well. Let's go ahead and get our rub on there. Today we're just going to be using some coarse kosher salt and some 16 mesh pepper that's from the Fiesta brand. So we're going to start with our salt first. And it's a big piece of meat, so you can be pretty liberal with the salt. And we'll go on with our pepper on this side. And we'll flip this bad boy over and do the other side. It's looking like a beauty, so we're going to let the smoker come up to temperature and we're going to throw this brisket on there. The pit's running at about 275, 280 right now, which is almost perfect. It'll come down a little bit. So it's time to get this brisket on here. Let's open up this pit. We're going to place the point towards the fire since it's a little thicker. That's looking beautiful, so we're going to let this rock for a few hours and then we'll come back and check. It's been about 3 hours since we first put our brisket on the smoker. Let's take a look at it and see if it needs to be spritzed. It's looking good. Still got a long way to go. But it is looking a little dry on the top, so we're going to hit it with some pickle juice. Got some pickle juice here in this little squirt gun. And let's just give it a little mist, just kind of moisten things up a little bit. So that looks pretty nice. We'll check back in another couple hours and maybe give it another spritz. So our brisket is at an internal temperature of 190 degrees, so we're going to pull it off and prepare it for our sous vide bath. So let's go ahead and open up this pit and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, baby. It's looking good. Let's pull these probes out. And let's get it on our tray here. So we got our sous vide set to 150 degrees. It's still coming up to temperature. You can see it's at 144, but it's going to quickly get up to that temperature. I'm going to put this brisket in a bag and we're going to put it in that sous vide bath. So after about 12 hours of resting, we've got our brisket out of the sous vide bath, and look at that incredible bark. It just kind of sits in that bag at 150 degrees, and it really just continues to break down that meat, and you get a really good, flavorful, juicy brisket with a great bark that doesn't get mushy or anything like that. But as far as our experiment with the Chick-fil-A sauce as the binder, I couldn't really tell that much of a difference as far as the flavor. Is it worth doing? Probably not, but it was a fun experiment and we got to make a really fun video together. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.